Can't get him in that Pepper Potts pleasure pose. Hey, what's up, you guys? Artemis Prime here doing another Transformers figure review on the Transformers Generations Leader Class Jetfire. Gotta give a big thanks to my boy Mr. Phils for this awesome birthday gift, and plus a bunch of other Transformers, which you'll see reviews of very, very soon. But anyway, if you're trying to get this figure, you can get a big. Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below. Very nice image of Jetfire right here on the side, and then right there, or Skyfire, whatever you want to call them. And then there's Autobot logo on the back. You see both modes. There's a bio on Jetfire if you want to read that, pause it now. And you get some tech specs. If you want to look at those, go ahead and pause it now. It says Transformers up the top. Nothing much more on the side. All right, let's get to it and crack this thing open. And here's Jetfire out of the packaging, and what a sick figure, man. Wow, this is so cool. I really dig this Jetfire figure. It's actually the only Jetfire figure that I have, so I'm pretty stoked about it. Well, I do have like the movie version, but anyway, he comes with a ton of guns, man. There's guns all over the place. He has two guns right here, or one gun on each calf, so you can see these clearly, and they have this decent red vac metal, and I say decent only because some of the clear rubber bands actually did peel away some of this red vac metal, which is a little frustrating, but not terrible because I don't see any severe chipping around those areas where I lost some of the red paint, so it's not too bad. And then of course we get these huge pieces right over here, and then he has this one that he holds, and then the two on each forearm, so a lot of guns over here, man. Here's one of the leg storage guns over here, and it's sculpted very nicely. You get a port up top, and then you get this peg right over here, and you can have him hold it in his hand, so that works out pretty well. Here's one of the forearm guns over here. Again, we get a port right up top. Let's see if we can get it to hold it, and he kind of holds it okay. It kind of tilts downward, but it's not terrible. I guess we could just stack these two on top of each other like that, and that looks pretty cool. Yeah, and then get him holding it up. Boom! Yeah, Jetfire! And we have his main blaster over here, which looks amazing. A lot of nice sculpted detail, like I said. It's just looking really cool. You can see a little bit of the vac metal that peeled off right there from the clear rubber band from it being stored in the packaging. And it does fire this missile over here, which does shoot very easily. I guess I've just kept shooting this over my shoulder every time I was playing with this figure. But yeah, it just fires. Let's see if we can get Jetfire to shoot himself. Come on, Jetfire. Let's get a little suicidal here. Oh, damn, why did you do it? And then Jetfire has these two huge pieces right here on the back. A lot of nice detail over here. That is amazing. That just looks so cool to me. And I guess you could attach other guns right here onto the side. So if you want to soup it up even more than that, ooh, take one of these forearm guns right there, stick it on top. I mean, you could get creative with these, which I think is very cool. I really like this a lot. If you'd like to, you could kind of move this nose outward over here and then rotate this 180 degrees so you can have that kind of look going on if you want to. The cool thing about this figure is we get some options with the head sculpt over here, which I think is pretty nice. We get the face guard version over here, which is the toy version, I believe, or the Robotech toy that the figure is based off of. And then you could remove this over here and he'll look like Jetfire from the cartoon, from the G1 cartoon, or Skyfire. I remember Starscream calling him Skyfire. But I think this looks very nice. I think the light piping actually works out pretty well. You can see we have the light piping right over here. That looks quite good. You can shine in there. Well, it doesn't really work if you're not looking at the eyes, but yeah, we could shine in there. You can see the eyes kind of light up, even with this face guard and everything. So some pretty decent light piping. We get some solid painted blue right here on top of the clear blue plastic, which is pretty neat. I think this face guard sculpt, though, is very nice. I'm really liking it a lot. Then you can remove it and reveal his actual face, which is not bad at all. That looks very cool. I'm digging that a lot. Again, the light piping works out very well. You can see it shimmering right there. Ooh, Jetfire. Really like the silver paint apps. We got a darker gray going around the outside of the face. I just think that looks incredible. Take the faceplate and then just attach it to his main gun over here. That's not really a bad idea for the faceplate storage. You know, you don't want to lose this thing, so I prefer to have this on the gun than actually just put aside and ready to get lost. Now looking at the rest of the figure, there is a lot of cool stuff going on. First off, I think the wings look pretty cool, the way they're folded up over here. I think this is very nice, and they fold and collapse together very nicely. There's a lot of white on this figure, as it should have, and even the black section right here on his neck, that is a lot of nice sculpted detail. It's a little strange. I'm stoked about neck sculpt, but it's a nice neck sculpt, man. What can I say? They get the Autobot logo right there, and a lot of nice sculpted detail. You can see there's silver paint in there and everything. I think that looks really dope. Some nice silver paint apps and some red added on over here. Nice sculpted lines in there on the arms. Now one thing that's a little bit of a bummer is that when you remove these forearm cannons over here, it does look incredibly empty. I don't know why they couldn't like surface this out over here, but yeah, you get this weird hollow thing going around the port. I think the red paint came out very clean. He's got a little dinghy hanging down there. Then the legs look very nicely sculpted. think that's very, very cool. And on the legs over here, you don't get that major gappage. This is his landing gear that you can see revealed, and the port just goes in right over there. His feet look pretty good. Nothing much to say about the feet. And looking at the back of the figure over here once again, it's a pretty nice looking figure, man. I'm really digging it. Now this guy has some decent articulation, not the greatest. His head does move up quite a bit. That is cool. And it does move down some, and it rotates side to side over here at the neck, and you get no neck pivot or anything like that. His shoulders move all the way outward. You can rotate them forward. He has a bicep swivel. His elbows bend in a little bit more than 90 degrees, which I think is very cool. I'm very disappointed in the lack of a wrist swivel here. I don't see why they couldn't make that joint happen. That's very disappointing. He has no waist swivel, which I can understand from all this assembly going on right back over here. But he does have hips that kind of pops out, which kind of sucks. But yeah, his hips pop out or move out that way, and then you can move his leg forward that much. He has an upper thigh swivel, single jointed knee that bends in quite a bit. I really like that. I guess you can detach this to make him do the splits, but that's really just part of the transformation. So getting his legs moving outwards, you want to hold this down while you move the hips outward, you know what I'm saying? And then his ankles move down and up, and no ankle pivot. That's a bummer. So to the top of those cannons on his back, he's at about 10 inches tall, but to the top of his head, Jetfire's at just under 9 inches. So here's Jetfire compared to the Transformers masterpiece MP11 Starscream, and we have our classic Starscream right over here. I think these two fit into scale together, and I love that this guy exists because he adds some depth to the character of Starscream. And here he is compared to Deluxe Class Windblade and Voyager Class Roadbuster. Here's Jetfire compared to the MP10 TRU Optimus Prime, and they do not fit into scale with each other. And here he is next to the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Let's get on to the transformation while you take us away, Bumblebee. Alright, so first off, we're going to remove this gun right over here. I'm actually going to, this thing keeps firing, but I'm going to put his faceplate back on here, even though it's a little trickier with that on while you're transforming. Now, what you want to do is you want to take the forearms or the biceps and twist them inward right over here. And then we're going to detach this whole section. It's connected with this tab onto the wings, and then it's tabbed in also into the sides of the figure. So we're going to move that outward, and then move the arms out, and we're just going to basically get these out of the way. We're going to take the legs, turn them inward, rotate that inward, and then take his feet and then fold those in. And it has 2 hinges on the feet, so you can see that hinge right there, and then there's another hinge right over there. You can see that metal pin, and that just goes in like so. And then we're going to split this apart right over here and let this whole section kind of move forward, and then scoot this back and scoot this back, and this actually all tabs in together nicely right over here. So we're going to get that tabbed in, bring that in. It actually tabs in this black section and up here in this white section, which I think is great. And then there's this whole piece over here on the back. We're going to, well, we could remove this, but what I wanted to do was take this apart over here. This detaches and then swings back over here. So you get 2 hinges right there on that back section. And then we can take the legs and swing them all the way back. Make sure these guns are still facing forward. And then swing the legs back, and then you can see the tab right over here sticking out of the back, and that's going to go into this back wing slot right over there. You can kind of see that, so that's where that is going to go. And same thing on the other side, make that happen. And guns are trying to fall off, but I'll just put them right back in there. And then what you want to do is take the head, rotate 180 degrees, lift this flap down, lift that flap down. The weirdest part of the transformation for me is kind of just wedging this all together. There goes the face guard. Okay, we'll leave that off to the side in the end anyway. And that all connects over here. And then flap this down right there in the back. And this, like I said, is the most frustrating part of the transformation for me. And then you just take the nose of the airplane mode and move that down, and there it goes. So it's all really tabbed in. Actually, not too bad this time around. Oh nope, this back tab came out, and there that is. Now we could attach this assembly if we want to over here, and then lift these wing pieces up like so, and then take his gun. If you want to, you can attach it underneath the nose, which I don't really like. I think that looks just a little too much. And then you can actually articulate the wings, having the wings come outward more if you want to, which I think is very, very cool. And like before, you can actually rotate this all the way around if you like that look a little bit more, which I don't know if that looks much better. It kind of makes it look a little too long. Yeah, just leave it like that. This is a pretty damn cool looking jet mode. I really like it a lot. I gotta take this off. I'm not really digging that at all. Seeing Jetfire with no guns attached does look very awesome. I'm digging this a lot. The Autobot logo over here looks very clean. Looks great. It's smart that they used a rubbery tip over here so you can't stab anybody with your Jetfire. He has this cool cockpit over here, so you can just open that up, and you could, looks like you could sit maybe a couple of Dr. Arcavilles in there or something. It's pretty nice. A lot of of sculpted detail in there. That's pretty cool. I like the vents right up there. I think that's pretty damn nice. He has some awesome landing gear, which is really, really cool. And it actually functions. So these wheels spin. Same thing with the wheels right here in the back. You can really see how well this rolls. This is very, very nice. This is probably one of the best rolling plane figures I have. But looking at the rest of the top of this figure, you can see all this nice sculpted line work in here. I really dig that a lot. Nice lines sculpted right over there. You get this cool pattern going on. This is practically a masterpiece figure, man. I don't know. The Generations / Classics are really getting up there. This is very, very cool. Get his thrusters right back over here. This detached. Again, this tab keeps popping out on me. Again, nice sculpted work right there on the thrusters. I just think this looks great. And the Kibble bits are pretty seamless. I really like this a lot. And if you really wanted to get him into that Robotech kind of thing where the legs are popping out and you have the arms off to the side, I guess you can do that. I don't know. What do you think? Hella weak? Yeah, I think it looks hella weak. I gotta say, I'm very impressed that all the wheels still roll just fine with all these guns here. I mean, he's got a lot of guns underneath there, and the wheels are still running perfectly. I think that's great, man. Even though these rear fins are folded down, I'm digging this look with having all the guns attached to the sides over here. I think that looks pretty badass. I don't know, I'm still on the fence to having guns or no guns. I don't know, either way, it is awesome. Jetfire measures at about 10.5 inches across, and to the top of those fins in the back, it's 4 inches tall. Again, here's Jetfire compared to classic Starscream in his alt mode, and I think these go into scale very well together. I think these match up very, very nicely. And just for fun, here's Jetfire compared to the masterpiece Starscream, the first Hasbro release of Starscream. So yeah, they don't fit in scale together, but hey, they're both still very cool looking figures. You know, I really like this figure a lot. I don't find myself really complaining too much about it. There's so many badass things about it, so many options with the guns and everything. I just wish he had a little bit more articulation in his robot mode, but other than that, I think it's a pretty amazing figure. Anyway, I hope you guys liked my video. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and check out tformers.com for the latest in Transformers news and a full photo gallery of images from this review. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Gave it a spark. Welcome to Articulated Comic Book Art.
That's crispy.
Oops.